Wait, it's not experiment?
Oh, experience. Yeah. I don't know why I said experience.
The Frankenstein experience sounds like something I'd be really into, though.
That's Park Peeps After Dark. That's Park Peeps After Dark.
That's going to be a new t-shirt for Quincy to design. I'm Demi, theme park YouTuber, aka Magical Hijinks.
And I'm entertainment journalist Joey Nolfi, and we've both been diagnosed with terminal theme park obsession, and we're definitely going to spread it to you on the Park Peeps podcast.
We've got years of theme park knowledge, so join us as we serve piping hot takes, park tea, offer the best travel hacks and tips, and chat with guests in the theme park space.
So sit down, buckle in, and pull up on that yellow strap while we dispatch for the Park Peeps podcast. Hello and welcome to the final Park Peeps podcast episode that will drop before Epic Universe is finally open to the public. And to celebrate, we have a special episode of our definitive list of top 10 rides at Universal's new park. And here to help us do it all is, I am very excited to announce, a very special guest. Straight from Frankenstein Manor. Or, well, straight, that's debatable. And on special leave from Dr. Victoria Frankenstein's care. Demi. It's Ygor from Dark Universe. Ygor, welcome to the show.
You have a fungus growing on your noggin. Yeah. I can amputate it for you.
Excuse me, Cousin Ygor. We haven't even revealed our list yet. How can you already insult our brain functionality?
This is the most unoriginal thing Ygor has ever heard.
All right, Demi, just get out the riding crop. Get him back to the dungeon.
All right, Ygor, back to the castle where you belong. Now, where were we?
We're just whipping into shape. See what I did there? Our very special pre-epic opening episode. We have done so much talking about this incredible new park, but it is time to stake our claim and decide on a definitive Park Peeps ranking of the top 10 rides at Epic Universe. From worst to best, but even is worst a thing? I don't even know if worst is a thing here.
No, I don't think so, but we'll figure it out. And
yes.
And as this is a work in progress, we will also work this list out in real time live on the show today. So stay tuned with us until we do that later in the show. Before that, we do have quick hot takes of the week to get to.
Yes, we do. And Demi, mine is officially a Park Peeps first.
Oh.
It is a retraction.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I think you know where I'm going with this, because I have been texting you about this, and I've been texting a lot of my little friends. Also, shout out to Colin, who has now been tasked with purchasing this for me when it is available. If you heard me saying that popcorn buckets and sippers were a waste last 2 weeks ago, no, you did not, because the Mickey Mouse popcorn bucket, the 70th anniversary, that's my new child. That is my new child. That's my hot take. I'm retracting the past thing that you didn't hear me say, but I'm still retracting it anyway, because that popcorn bucket would totally win in the Mecha apocalypse war between the Chucky popcorn bucket from Universal. So I'm going to slowly build an army of those Mickeys.
Wow. Oh, that's a first for sure.
A first.
Yes. All right, my hot take, honestly, I don't even know how hot this is, but I'm kind of annoyed. So this is just we're just going to talk about it. Of course, literally, I think it was the day of our last episode that dropped, or it was the day after or the day before. I don't even know at this point.
Days blend together.
Days blend together so much. But we finally got a reveal for the dates for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Oh, yeah.
It's like deep into May now. So my hot take, because even though we have had 0 house reveals so far for Halloween Horror Nights, I can understand why this is a different year because of Epic, right? But at least we know the dates. So my hot take is, Disney, why later and later every year do you throw these dates out? Including then for Very Merry. These are special events that people have to plan within their vacations. And the way that Disney works is because the way you guys set it up is it's best if people plan as far ahead in advance. So how are people supposed to do that if they have planned their August trip a year in advance and didn't know that the Halloween party, what day it was going to be on? And especially this year, you normally have it start the second week of August on a Friday. You moved it 1 week. So I get to go to Las Vegas on the 14th for the opening of HHN in Vegas and then fly that night, overnight, so I could be at at the party the next day. That's a whole other thing. But just hot take. Tell us earlier. Tell us why you gotta do that. Just tell us as early as possible.
Tell us earlier.
Tell us way earlier. It's so hard to like have to do this. Even even someone for me who is like constantly going back and forth. Like I have to tell people like I don't know if I can do a thing because I need to be there for that. But I'm like the dumb person that needs it. There's like families that are on real vacations that needs it. It's just do it earlier. That's my hot take.
I love it. Yeah, it's like we're like screw the families. We're like we need to plan this for our own personal sake.
I need to see Mickey Mouse in his Halloween costume, everyone.
Oh my gosh. Well, that Mickey with the blinking eyes, popcorn bucket, slowly blinks his eyes and watches me go to sleep every single night. Also, we need to shout out that Universal just dropped some really cool merch today.
Yes.
Or, well, not today when you're listening to this, but today when we're recording this, the first tease of the HHN merch, which has a lot of vegetation and vines and...
Maybe some little Boo's going to come out.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping Lil Boo can finally be the icon. However, not sure. As shout out to Stephanie once again, as Stephanie said to me today, how is he going to walk around as the icon? Is he just going to have legs? And I was like, no, he'll roll.
Well, I mean, they had the Pumpkin Lord a few years ago, and he was like in his Pumpkin Lord thing at the front of the park and didn't move.
Is it like a stroller for pumpkins?
No, he was just like a giant Pumpkin Lord, and he had like he was just like in a not a booth, but like he was basically on top of a stand.
I want to be a Pumpkin Lord.
Yeah.
Well, every August through December, I am a Pumpkin Lord. So
I'm always Pumpkin Lord.
Pumpkin Lordess and Lord. Lovely. Also, the Rip Ride Rocket merch. The Farewell Tour, A+. That is amazing. Did you see that shirt?
No, I must have missed that one.
Demi, it's so good. It says it's like Rip Ride Rocket Farewell Tour 2025. Like I'm totally buying that.
I don't even like that coaster, but I want the shirt.
It's so good. It's so good. I need it. All right. Well,
it's that time.
Is it the time?
It's that time.
I think it is the time because, as I mentioned earlier, we are doing something never before attempted in the short pod life of Park Peeps. We are attempting to align between the two of us a definitive top 10 countdown of best rides at Epic Universe before this incredible park opens to the public on May 22nd. So 2 days after you hear this episode. But I just like, how do we even begin here? Should we just because there are 11 rides.
Yeah.
And we need a top 10. So somebody's got to get the chops. So
someone's going to get... All right. So, because in my brain, I just tied someone. But if you want to do the pork chop, we can do the pork chop.
Because I like the... It's so funny because it's become such a meme of I saw somebody tweet today, I think it was Jake's Coasters on X. He was like, somebody should really think of doing a top 10 rides at Epic Universe. And I was like, oh.
I mean, I feel like we're the last people to do it.
No, that's the joke. That's the joke.
Oh,
he was like, yeah, he was like, someone should really consider.
Demi did not understand.
No, Demi did not, but that's okay. That makes for a comedic bit on the pod. But
that's fine.
Yeah, so I mean, it's whatever. You know what? This is best SEO practices for podcast releasing
tied
to the opening of the biggest theme park in the world since 2001.
Well,
so, in the US, I
also think this is going to be fun for us because I think Joey and I look at rides a little bit different.
Yes.
Yes. And so for us to agree upon this may be interesting. So
yes, I absolutely agree. And there is one that I know we both personally would chop, like Minecart Madness. However, I do think we should still rank her.
I do too.
Yes.
And I have, I'm fine to pork chop what I already in my brain have at the very bottom.
Okay, what would it be? Yoshi?
Well, no, surprisingly it's not. Okay, and this is because out of all the rides in Epic Universe, I've ridden them all multiple times except for two, and I don't really have any desire to ever ride them. And they are both located in Isle of Berk, and it is Dragon Racers Rally and Fire Drill. But this is this is my subjective brain because first of all, I don't like getting wet at a theme park. I like a water park. I don't like being in my clothes and then being soaking wet. And that ride gets you soaking wet. And I just don't find that to be fun. That to me is not interesting or fun.
And also you can see the whole ride from
Right.
outside the ride.
Correct. And it doesn't look that interesting either. You're just
Right.
like shooting
Unless your name is
water.
Quincy.
Well, yeah, Quincy's favorite ride.
Quincy, shout out to Quincy.
Shout out to Quincy's episode. Make sure to go listen if you haven't. But so between that and Dragon Racers Rally, I listen, I will do the most intensive roller coasters. For me, like that like scares me. And you're going to tell me it's a different ride type. I know you are, but it reminds me of those arm claws that have had multiple problems at other theme parks in the past that have like broke. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. Not from that description. The
Okay.
arm claws.
Dragon Racers Rally is like an arm claw. Like it's like moving your hand.
claw.
It's like moving your forearm, and then your hand is where people are sitting, right? And it's like you're moving around, and you're also moving your arm claw.
Park Peeps Obscene Gestures Edition.
And I feel wasn't there like at like a Six Flags or something that like one like broke in half, like a Wonder Woman Lasso of Truth type of ride. You know what I'm talking about?
No, this is not. I think I know the ride type you're talking about, and this is not the same one.
And I knew you were going to say that. That's why I said, I know you're going to tell me it's not the right one.
I don't think there are any of these at any Six Flags.
But I look at that, and that's what my brain goes to. And two, for me, that's a ride. I believe it's also in the Mall of America.
True.
Yeah. And I just like, these are world-class rides that we're about to rank, and it just seems like such a filler attraction. And
you got me there. Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, and I'm fine with filler attractions. Like, we'll talk about like, what can be considered a filler attraction. Like you have the Constellation Carousel. We're going to rank that. That's going to be definitely on the list.
That's an experience.
It's an experience. So you can still do filler without having to do basic, like when you're building a world-class theme park with only 11 attractions.
I will say I do love, like, you are very correct in that it is just like an off-the-shelf kind of thing with some cool theming built around it. And I actually do kind of like the way that it is incorporated into it's like a training kind of flying on a dragon kind of situation. I think that's a cool concept it's the coolest possible concept that you could do for an off-the-shelf ride going into Epic Universe. I get it. I will say, to counter what you're saying about, I think you're talking about the rides are usually called either pendulum or frisbee type rides.
Yeah.
Those, or Giant Discovery is actually the ride model that's at Six Flags. But this sensation is nothing like that. Because the motion is very slow and controlled. It's not like a gravity sort of motion doing it. And you're just kind of going very slow in a sort of diagonal circle, but you can control how much you flip. And it is a really cool sensation. It is not sickening. It's not nausea-inducing for me, at least. But I don't get sick on rides really at all. But it is a really cool experience. So
right, like that's also my thing. It's like I will do like the most intensive coasters, but when I see rides that are more like just like loopy and like that's the reason that it's intense, I don't really like to do those.
So do we cut the?
I would be fine cutting. I would give the
fire
pork chop to
drill,
fire
maybe?
drill because I feel like we can both agree on that one at
Yeah,
least.
I think so, because it's also, like I said, it's something that even if you don't like getting wet, you can still see the entire attraction from outside of the attraction. So if you really want to look at the theming and kind of watch it go for a little bit, you can still do that. So we will say that as a sort of disclaimer to everybody. You can, if you don't want to get wet, just go stand on the sidelines. Be careful of where you're standing, though, because you can get wet from the outside of the ride. But if you want to look at all the theming, just go look at from the railing. Just okay.
You can even sit under the gazebo that they have for the seating area, and you can like watch it while you eat a bowl from that quick service stand that I covered in my video.
You mean where I was sitting editing or writing my article for EW.com, which everybody needs to also go to, because I have to say my disclaimer again that I went not on behalf of Park Peeps Podcast, but on behalf of Entertainment Weekly. Go to EW.com, read my article on Epic Universe. But that is where I was writing that article on my phone. And as I'm sitting there with my microphones and my camera and just a big old hose of water.
Oh, no.
Got me, gal. They got me, gal. So be careful of where you sit there. Be careful.
Yeah. Well, all right. So Fire Drill gets the
Miss
pork
Fire,
chop.
she gets the pork chop.
She gets the pork chop.
Okay. So number 10, where should we... So what we have left, let's recap for everybody. The rides at Epic the 10 that we are going to choose from is alphabetically Constellation Carousel, Curse of the Werewolf, Dragon Racers Rally, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry, Hiccups Wing Gliders, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, Minecart Madness, Monsters Unchained The Frankenstein Experience, Stardust Racers, and Yoshi's Adventure.
Wait, it's not Experiment?
Oh, Experience. Yeah. I don't know why I said Experience.
The Frankenstein Experience sounds like something I'd be really into, though.
That's Park Peeps After Dark. That's Park Peeps After Dark.
That's going to be a new t-shirt for Quincy to design.
The Frankenstein Experience. That's right. Well, I am seeing her this weekend, so I will be sure to tell her that. But yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking I have an idea of where we're going to want to go with 10 for multiple reasons.
Okay. Did we already talk about it?
Actually, no. Because I do think there is value in putting Minecart higher.
No, I know that. I wasn't going to say Minecart.
Okay, good. I'm thinking we should do either Dragon Racers Rally or Yoshi at 10.
So I have Dragon Racers at 10.
Let's do that at 10 then. Dragon Racers, she's going to be at 10.
It's nothing that's too unique. It's one of those, like we said before, it's something that was copied from, like, it's a popular ride type vehicle with some light theming. You can also see that from standing far away. Obviously, it's not like an enclosed thing. So I would say it's the least impressive to me.
Yes. I think if we're doing this as an objective list where we are like saying, or wait, did we say we're doing this objectively or subjectively?
I think we said we're doing this subjectively.
Oh, subjectively. Yes.
I mean, because I don't think there could technically be an objective list, right?
True.
Like we could be subjective while also being objective.
Yeah, I agree. I think let's take that route because I do think that there are certain factors that come into play with this because for both sides, like I subjectively personally would rank this higher because I thought it was fun. I thought it was a cool interactive kind of thing. It did not make me sick. I was a little nervous on it, but it's cool. It's a cool ride. But objectively, like what you're saying, it's an off-the-shelf ride model. This theme park, if you're going to be prioritizing things to do in this theme park, I would not prioritize the less themed, off-the-shelf thing that could potentially make people in your party sick.
Yeah.
So that is why.
Or anything you can experience anywhere else too. So
Exactly. And I think that's part of why Fire Drill also is not on the list because that is also technically an off-the-shelf ride model. Like that's a very standard sort of splash battle kind of ride that is at a lot of parks too. It's just with How to Train Your Dragon theming. So, all right, good. We agree on that. Number 9. So I think here is where we should do Yoshi.
Okay, so here's why I'm going to say.
Are you about to make me pass out?
No.
Okay, all right.
I right now actually had Yoshi in number 8 spot instead of number 9.
Oh, okay.
And okay, because we're doing it more like objectively, subjectively, because in my subjective category, I would put Donkey Kong in number 9.
Yeah, same.
So I don't know. We don't talk about this on the pod. I don't, or did we? We know we did with Quincy.
Yeah, we did. Yes,
we talked with Quincy. I can't tell sometimes if we talk about it in real life.
I know, right?
But as we said on our Quincy episode, when we went over our first experience at Epic, Donkey Kong for me was just unpleasant.
Same.
It's a minecart, so it's like I thought it's on purposely shaking you. Joey says
I was like,
that
no,
he doesn't think it is.
No.
And to me, so the effect is like, oh, you're supposed to be looking like you're jumping over the tracks, like you're like not on the track at some point. And like there's a lot of times where I think that it does work and I get excited about it. And then as soon as it does the effect, that's when the ride started to get shaky for me. And that's when I couldn't enjoy it anymore and it made me sad. Like I was so excited for this attraction. But if if we have to like really like rank this subjectively of like what should we do first, because some people love this attraction, some people rank this a lot higher than us. This could again be just an us thing. I guess it can't be number 9.
Yeah, I think that because some people's tolerance, I have a high tolerance for stuff.
Yeah.
And I will get on anything at least once. Nothing makes me sick, nothing makes me. Well, there actually is the Enterprise at Kennywood used to make me sick, but that was literally just going in a vertical loop over and over and over and over and over. I can't do that. I do think there is going to be value for children and also for I think as just an experience and kind of sitting there and basking in the vibe of the Donkey Kong Land, I
mean,
think Minecart Madness is kind of a cool experience
I
that
think
you
the land
should
is
do.
the land is a cool experience. Yes, I do think you should do it at least once.
Like, I would never tell somebody to skip this ride.
I wouldn't either. So
Like,
you're right.
You got to do it one time.
You're right.
So, yes, subjectively, personally, now that I have done it, it would be lower on my list.
Correct.
Objectively, this is going to be the theme of the whole pod. We're going to be like subjective, objective. Take a drink every time we say that.
Oh, that would be dangerous.
Oh, yeah, true. But
So
I
then-
would,
I would.
put it lower.
I'll put it higher then for later. So you want to rank Yoshi at
I think
9.
we should do Yoshi at 9 because that is again, this is one that I did not do Yoshi. However, I have watched a lot of POV videos of it. I've talked to a lot of people, but I do have to disclaim, I did not ride this ride, but it does.
I have.
Okay, yeah, you could, because
I rode it also in Japan.
Very silly.
It's meant to be for kids. It's a dark ride. It's a slow moving dark ride. There's a little bit of an interactive element with it, which is really nice, where you have to find the eggs and you press the egg button when you find the eggs.
A universal button on a ride that does something?
I know, Hagrid's.
Whoa,
never.
Hagrid's. So are you saying Yoshi's is better than Hagrid's in one key department, Demi?
I will say no. Okay, but Yoshi. So I did Yoshi at night. And let me tell you, because you go into the queue and it starts inside, the queue's inside, and you go through. It's so adorable. Like it literally looks like any Yoshi game you've ever played before. What was so fun for me was Toadette is like in a tree and she talks to you. Uh-huh. And when I was in Japan, I didn't know what she was saying, and now I do because now we have it here. But
Rosetta Stone Yoshi's Adventure Edition.
And there's even power-up blocks in the queue, which is really fun. And then you the power-up blocks.
The thing that I hit.
I'm sorry, not the power-up. I meant the blocks that you hit with your power-up band. My brain just
Yes.
Anyway, and then it's just a slow moving ride, but you go outside, and it's basically like you're getting a view of Nintendo Land, and at night it's all lit up and it's so beautiful. I'm telling you, you do Yoshi's at night. Nobody's probably going to be doing that because it's like all the young kids, that's what they're going to be have to do during the day, right?
Yeah.
So save for the night when the kids are gone, go. It's really beautiful. And then at one point you go inside and there's like these bigger animatronics in there and it's very cute looking. But yeah, I mean, if I was going to tell like somebody like, that doesn't have a child with them maybe, or like to go, I would probably say, yeah, you don't have to do Yoshi. Like if you miss it, you're not going to feel bad about it. So I'm fine putting Yoshi at 9.
Yeah, I think just in terms of pure experience, I mean, also is a big factor. Like the ride motion is not by any means, it does not look exhilarating or exciting in any way. So, but points for animatronics. Anybody can enjoy a good animatronic. So
yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll put Miss Yoshi at number 9. So 8 is actually... I
still want to say Donkey Kong here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Let's put Minecart Madness here.
And I only say that because like the rest of these rides I feel like are so much better. And that says a lot because like these rides are all these rides are so good, really. Truthfully, this was really difficult for me to rank in my own brain.
Yeah.
But I would have to say Donkey Kong just for the sheer fact of that I feel like, I think it would have to be that.
It doesn't, because it just also feels kind of like a mistake in some ways that wasn't corrected because, and I'll say it again, like I said on the episode with Quincy, it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm being jostled in like a rickety old wooden roller coaster kind of way, because it is a very contemporary progressive steel coaster. It felt like rickety and there's something wrong with this. Like it shouldn't be doing this kind of way. It's supposed to be
a mine cart, so I feel like it's meant to do that. I mean, I wish it kind of did what like Snow White's mine cart was supposed to do, which is like the swinging thing. I think that would have been like a better and I just thought of that just now.
I think that is a brilliant idea, Demi. I think that also would have minimized how bad the lateral because it's the lateral side-to-side forces that make it feel so strange when it's sort of jittering. It's not necessarily up and down for me. It's side-to-side.
It's side-to-side, yes.
And correct. I believe that a sort of is that called a cantilever? When it's like sort of, when Snow White is going like that. Well, we can just use this video of me going like this while I'm shaking side to side. But that kind of motion, I agree, would have helped here and also would have helped theming wise. However, I imagine since it's already at Disney, it is probably fully exclusive to Disney and like technologically patented in a very
I didn't even
specific
think of that.
way. So yeah, because
Also the loading capacity on this ride is terrible.
oh, it's so bad.
And it's going
so
to
awful.
consistently be the longest
Yeah.
wait time in the
Oh, yeah.
park.
Yeah.
Like if you get on, if that says an hour and Monsters Unchained says an hour, you will probably be on Monsters Unchained like within an hour or less, and you will probably be waiting longer
Oh, yeah.
for Donkey Kong because then you have to add in all the Express Pass people and
Yes.
you know, others. And it's just they're small little cars and it's really long. And
You should have made it bigger, or like I don't think is anybody really going to be like, if they made it longer and also made it a train, was anybody really going to be like, oh, it's not Donkey Kong canon accurate to be one single car?
I don't know. I mean, that's you know, we do want to keep it to the theming. I mean, I wish there was more track. I think that would be able to have more cars. I think I don't know. I don't really know what the solution is for that. And also, I know like at least the majority of the well, I mean, unless you're like really backed up, but like the queue is like indoors. But I don't know how it's going to handle like summer heat. I don't know how air conditioned. I have to go back and like
fans in there.
There was fans in there. I don't know how air conditioned that queue was. I have to go back and look at that. But that's another conversation.
I'll tell you on Monday.
And I'll tell you on
Thursday. But when you were saying that there should be more track, it made me think of our missing icon, Miss Stacy, at Disney when she was riding Expedition Everest and being like, there doesn't seem to be any track. Had to give a shout out to my girl Stacy. Okay.
Number 7. I would go ahead, you go.
I feel like people are gonna hate me, but I'm gonna say Mario Kart.
That's what I have for number 7.
Okay, yeah,
too.
she's number 7.
Okay.
She's number 7.
So I want to say this because I rode Mario Kart first in Hollywood, then in Japan, and then here.
Mm-hmm.
And
you've done all 3 of the dark rides around the whole world.
That's all 3. And I have to say, I remember in Hollywood when I first did it, I was like, "Oh, this is so fun! This is really fun." That was like in 2023, and like technology just like gets better and better every second.
Yeah.
And I rode it again, obviously this in Epic, and like it wasn't like not fun, but like I remember having more fun, and I think it's because like it doesn't like it just didn't thrill me. And I think it's just because we keep doing better things. We're our own worst enemy. We are making things better, and it's making other things not as great anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with me because I remember enjoying it. Though my husband didn't love it that much, but I don't know.
I really just don't. I mean, I've talked about this a lot. I really just don't get
the AR?
The thinking. I mean, yeah, because that also just feels like not fully there to me when I wrote it, and I only did the one in Hollywood, so I know there are differences in the queue, Epic Universe, which the queue here does seem a little bit better than the one in Hollywood because it's bigger.
Really? I did the whole queue with nobody there, and I barely remember any differences.
Yeah, it's structured in a really different way there, because then Hollywood you go through the whole Yoshi Forest and all that stuff, and then in Epic you enter, I believe, Bowser's Castle differently, and then there's a little bit more like story theming and stuff. So I mean, it's
all very similar, but whatever.
The aesthetic is also just bleh to me, but
what?
Oh yeah, I don't like the Nintendo aesthetic of this whole. I do not like Super Nintendo World. I do not like it.
No,
I would say aesthetically, like the thing that I don't dislike it, but I don't like it. I mean, I could go the whole day
without stepping in there,
fully without stepping in there, and I would not care.
I love it, but I also have to have like I can't be in there for too long. It's very overstimulating.
Overstimulating.
Very overstimulating in there. But
Well,
yeah.
the overstimulation that's part of why I don't like Mario Kart, because the sort of the AR and also the speed of the ride, it sort of betrays its own
Yes.
it betrays its own soul. Like, I mean, it doesn't, because you're going so slow.
You're going so slow. That's what it
The
is.
AR is trying to simulate speed, but the motion of the animatronics around you are also, like, because those things are moving, you can tell out of the corner of your eye how slow you're actually moving. But
Yeah.
the AR is trying to make it seem like you're going really fast. It doesn't work, and the
I think
gaming element doesn't work. I don't
I'm
know.
so bad at it. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm so bad at it, and I'm a Mario Kart like connoisseur. Like, I am very particular about my kart character and all my wheels. Like, I love Mario Kart, and I will say the first time I did it, like, as a Mario Kart fan, and if you're a Mario Kart fan, you're gonna love just living in Mario Kart for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Like, when you reach Rainbow Road, I almost cried. Like, I was like, I'm on Rainbow Road. But that, when you actually like look at the ride, it's just not as impressive as maybe the other ones we're going to talk about.
Yeah. And I just want to, I was listening to you, but I was trying to find something because my thoughts on this are very clear in a comment that I actually wrote to the Coaster Kings when they posted about this. So I just wanted to make sure I read that because it sums up my thoughts on it. So, they asked me because they really liked it, and I was like, I don't like it. And they were like, why? And I said, A, the tech is inconsistent and not even that fun when it does work. B, the ride's motion is too slow and counterintuitive to the story/video and works against its own visual effects. And C, the sets are more interesting than the selling point, which is the AR. So I ended up just taking off my headset and looking around at the sets.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I feel about that ride. But
right.
I should say, subjective, objective. Kids are going to love this. Kids don't give they don't care. I mean, kids are going to be obsessed with this. I think that it's something that kids can do with, like, not only their parents, but like much older people in their party too. Like, it's like grandma's not doing Test Track, but grandma can do Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge with you. So
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as long as everyone keeps their sticky, dirty fingers off of the AR screens that people have to put on, it'll be fine. Because the first time I did it in Hollywood, it was like a few months after the ride was open, and it was the dirtiest thing I had to see through. I was like, this is terrible. And so when I wrote it again in Hollywood the second day, I made sure to take my little glasses cleaner and clean it before riding.
Well, that is a great idea, Demi. But how do you feel about if this ride ever closes and people have to steal those big VR goggles, much like I bought these on eBay.
Oh my gosh.
To put in the museum.
I'm gonna put it in the museum.
The museum.
I'm gonna buy some on eBay soon too when I go down to Orlando.
Yeah, buy them on eBay. Just like how funny is this? My Muppet goggles are, for everybody who is not watching this on stories. I'm putting my Muppets goggles on my Chronos.
Anyway.
So number 7, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge.
Yes.
Number 6. Okay, this is where I think it's going to get hard. My gut is telling me to go one way, but I feel like we're going to agree on a different one.
Okay. I feel like we are going to say the same one though.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hiccups and gliders.
No.
Oh.
Curse the werewolf.
Oh. Well, enter in another player in the arena, because that wasn't even in the 2 that I'm thinking. Okay, Demi, let's hear it out, because I'm going to fight against this one.
Okay. I say it because it's a very short ride.
Yes.
So that takes away a point.
Well, yes.
Because you wait a long time for it, and that takes away a point.
Well, yes.
I think that a lot of people will get motion sick on it.
Well,
because
yes.
It does spinny. Like, people were thinking like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is like spinny. And my friends, that goes just like side
That's controlled
to side.
spinning.
And this one like will whip you all the way around 360. It has a lot more bark to its bite. Is that
It does.
Is that the correct
Bite
term?
to its bark. Whatever. Bark
Whatever,
to
it's
its
a whale
bite. I
wolf.
like that.
They're werewolves.
Mhm.
I think like also the theming isn't as much as I want it to be.
You're talking about that literal, like, motionless statue of, what's her name, Maleva at the end? She's not doing anything but standing there, like, watching your train go
I
by.
actually kind of forgot about that part. Well,
But if
like,
you're turned around backwards, you can't even see her.
yeah, and you can't see the werewolf.
Yeah. Right.
So-
I didn't even see the werewolf when I went through the shed the first time because I was turned around.
I think I did. It's like I don't even really remember because it's so fast.
Mhm.
And like you have like the caravan outside of the ride, and then like signs as you walk in, and then it's just like a queue kind of like, and so it just didn't. It didn't like make me want to like run back there versus you want to talk about Hiccup. I mean, we can talk about Hiccup, but like I think the theming is better. I think the thrill is better, and it's longer. The one part about Hiccups I hate is the outdoor queue.
You know what? I think I will indulge the objective part of my brain here, and I think I am okay putting Curse of the Werewolf at 6. However,
Oh, look at this.
like Valerie Cherish says on the comeback, yes, I did it, but I do not endorse it. Because I think Curse of the Werewolf is it really surprised the hell out of me. I thought that it was so punchy for being I thought it was going to be the worst coaster in the park. I think right now personally for me, it's second best coaster in the park. I thought but it is also a gamble because it depends on like the weight distribution of the ride cars, because unlike Cosmic Rewind, this is a free spinning ride that is controlled purely by the laws of physics. It is not controlled by a machine.
Yeah, it's like being on a tilt-a-whirl on a roller coaster track.
So that does amplify the re-rideability factor to me though too. Like, I mean, I think you can justify getting back on it, but would I wait a long time for this? No. But I also think even though the theming is not as much there, I do just like the thought of a spooky werewolf in a shed more than I like the theming of not the actual theming that's on the ride, but just the idea of the theming of How to Train Your Dragon I like more. But Hiccups, while I don't necessarily think that the ride itself is more fun, purely in terms of layout, I do think that theming, although I don't like How to Train Your Dragon as much as Spooky Monster stuff, I do think the way that it is incorporated into the ride is much more A, immersive, and B, intricate. So and easier to see. So
I also want to point out too on Werewolf that and I experienced this park with a lot of different friends. Luckily, it was like really nice to see that. And some of my friends were not able to fit on Werewolf. And like I could even tell like that it's tighter than most of the other attractions, including Hiccup, and they were able to do Hiccups.
You almost said hippogriff.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought you almost said hippogriff.
No, I almost said hip up, like from the Rugrats. Hip-ups. But anyway, I think also because I think that I like the ride a lot. I have to say that. Yeah. I think that if it was longer than what it is, I would probably be dead because it is spinny. But I think just for what we talked about with theming and weight and amount of time, I would put it at 6. And you said you're agreeing?
I will do it, but I do not endorse it.
Okay.
All right. So number 6, Curse of the Werewolf. 5, I think it's obvious what should be at number 5 here, given what we have left. Constellation Carousel.
Yes, that's okay. Perfect. That's what I had.
Yeah. This is also one I did not do.
I'm almost getting my exact way, by the way, of my ranking. Like literally.
I think we might have. Yeah, I think the top 3 is gonna be, because I think we're gonna have the same 4 too, but the top 3 is gonna be tough.
Yeah, for sure.
So Constellation Carousel.
If you can do anything at night, please let it do the Constellation Carousel.
The videos I saw of this are just incredible.
I was the last group of people on my night when I was there, and it's like so magical, you guys.
I got emotional watching the videos. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when I'm on it.
It's it's like I can't even I describe. Like, it's not just like a normal carousel like you would see it in an amusement park, even like a Disney carousel, which is a normal carousel. This is like, first of all, the animals that they have are beautiful, and the colors are just like magical, and the lights are magical, and the music is like putting you are in the cosmos. Like, you are literally you feel like you are being transported in space, and it like I almost like cried. It was so beautiful. And what's so nice is that Universal does let you like take picture carefully of your on the ride, so that like you can like have memories of the carousel, especially if you're with children. And it's just so insanely beautiful. And what's great is, like, even though it's an outdoor carousel, the majority of the queue is, or the whole queue is covered, which is good. I think that it is going to be one of those like most underrated attractions of all time in any theme park type of things.
It's just stunning. I mean, the building gorgeous. Is stunning. The vehicles are stunning. The way that it moves is just a beautiful thing that you can just watch off the ride. I mean, and at night, it just is such a beautiful, 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 artful ride that it's art. It's moving art. It's moving art. It is experiential art. It's gorgeous. So yes, and
I want to like say thank you to whoever is the designer of, and the designers and the creators of this beautiful carousel, because of course, when they were talking about, oh, we're going to have a carousel, I was like, oh, a carousel? I'm so glad I was wrong.
Boom.
Oh my goodness. I was like, oh, it's just like a filler attraction for kids. No. Nope. It is moving art. It is right. Unbelievable. That's right.
All right. Number four is Hiccup, right?
Hiccup, yeah.
Okay, yes.
And I think we talked enough about it.
I agree too. I just think in summary, it's a very strong family coaster. There are some surprising forces on it too, like when Quincy said made her sort of gray out, and when you go under the water. I love the little baby dragons at the second launch.
There's animatronics on the ride, like as you're passing, which I didn't know when I first went to go ride it. I was like, oh, look what a nice surprise. I love that because Universal's so good at doing storied coasters. And I did not expect it to be as fast as it was. And I had a lot of fun on that one.
It's very...
just the fact that like the majority of the queue is not besides just outside. No shade, no covering.
Yeah, that's a little brutal, but... It's a really fun ride. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. So, number 4, solid. Okay, now the tough part.
Okay.
Because I feel like the top 3 are so good for such different reasons. And this is going to be tough.
And I kind of... I kind of feel like I have an idea of what you're going to say. And I just don't know if I can agree with it.
Well, let's also keep in mind, too, there are apparently, I'm seeing even as recently as today, seeing that people are saying there are updates on monsters, like to the haptic. I think Alicia Stella tweeted today that there are updates to the haptic element, which means like the physical sort of sensations that it, like Wolfie, well, no spoilers.
Makes my argument stronger.
And then there's also apparently new motions with the vehicles. And also, did you see they put little dolls in the Ygor test ride vehicle in the pre-show? No. So now there's little riders in that vehicle that goes amok when he does the thing. So
cute.
Okay. Even though I think Battle at the Ministry is
yes,
like I think I said when I wrote it is like the most jaw-droppingly stunning dark ride I have ever done. I am scared to ride it a second time because I fear that maybe it might be like Rise, in that the wow factor drops dramatically once you know what is coming.
Well, first of all, I disagree that the wow factor of Rise of Resistance drops even when you know it's coming, because I love it.
Totally does.
And you're just living Star Wars, and I cry every time. And I love Star Wars and I hate Star Wars at the same time. But I had it at my number 3.
Well, no, I wasn't saying it was number 3. I'm just like throwing it out there, but like I don't know. Oh, God.
Okay, can I tell you why I have it at my number 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first time I wrote it, and I have that picture, I cried. And this is I think we have to do spoilers for this.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Alert.
So if you don't want to hear spoilers,
jump ahead.
You guys, the first time I read it, I cried because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know that we were going to be seeing Ron, Harry, and Hermione looking like they did from like the last movie that was out 20 years ago. I don't know, 15 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
And especially because like I see Daniel Radcliffe all the time in New York, like on Broadway and doing other things. And to me, like I've kind of already, I don't think of him as Harry Potter anymore because he's done so much. And I say that as someone who grew up going to the premiere of every Harry Potter movie. I'm the peak like person, age group, a 30-year-old person. This was my thing, right? So that's why when I saw that, it was like shocking and I cried. And I think that there's so many really cool things that this ride does. And there's an amazing Death Eater animatronic that I am convinced is a person. I am convinced is a person.
They're just not telling us.
But then I wrote it a second time. And I was like, okay, I don't even really remember what happened because I was so overwhelmed. So I sat there, like I put like my hands on my lap and I stone-faced myself. And I was just like moving my eyes like
purposely
a psychopath.
paying attention
like
to
purposely
everything,
paying attention to every little possible thing. And the way that they're doing the fact that their likeness is being used is they're getting paid for their likeness. It's not their voices. And the thing is, and I think I might have said this in the Quincy episode, their gaze is totally off. At least when I was writing it, I don't know if it's been fixed. Their mouths were off. They look like they don't look real when you really look at them. And then you get to the projected face animatronics.
Oh, the projected face animatronics are so bad in that ride.
I don't
so
understand.
Yeah.
I imagine Universal knows that like we make fun, like we as a community of theme parks make fun of the Frozen animatronics at Epcot.
Oh, they have to know. So yeah, but they were like, let's do it for Battle at the Ministry.
Like I don't get it. And that ride is like a decade or plus now.
Yeah, 2014 or 15, I think.
It's like a decade, So, like, I mean, because, like, when you look at the Japan version of Frozen that I did in Fantasy Springs, it's very similar to the one in Epcot, except, like, with amazing different animatronic faces.
Yeah.
And so, like, and we know that they are capable of making animatronic faces of real people. That is, we know they can do that. So why do that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I will say, though, I'm now being talked out of endorsing this being at number 3. I think Stardust needs to be at number 3 because even though I did say I think that this is now better than Velocicoaster, it goes back to the idea that this is, yes, you can only experience this particular roller coaster at Epic Universe. However, it is not entirely impossible for someone else to build a roller coaster that is as equally thrilling or visually stunning as this because the theming is not there.
You're right.
So
I
feel like Monsters and Potter are two experiences that you can only get at Epic Universe. There are roller coasters. The Stardust Racers is my favorite roller coaster. Like, it is number 1 on my personal top 10 list, not just in Universal, but like overall top 10. But I mean, if we're talking about the overall theme park experience, it is an experience that could potentially, in theory, be somewhat replicated at a different park. Monsters and Harry Potter are signature specific experiences to Epic Universe, to Universal, and better exemplify to me what Universal Creative can do.
Yes,
so that is why I think Stardust should be at number 3.
And I agree with you. You're right. I was definitely thinking more subjective because I love that ride. So I love Stardust.
I do too.
Another thing with Stardust though is also it's one of those rides that I had some friends that couldn't ride it. So Harry Potter is going to be more size inclusive too.
True.
The queue is completely indoors.
Oh, the queue
we have to talk about the queue.
Amazing.
Like we have to include the queue, and the queue is
incredible.
Like the scale of the park alone. Like, all I ever talk about with this park is like when you go to a theme park, everything is forced perspective, and this park is built full scale plus, right? Like, and that includes even this queue. Yeah. And it's like, it's jaw-dropping amazing. I tell everybody I want to be in Epic Universe every day, and I don't think people realize like it's just like this park is so unbelievable, and imagine it hurts that you can't see Battle at the Ministry queue, like the beginning of it, without having a virtual queue to go onto. Even if you don't want to ride the ride, you still have to have a virtual queue to go into the queue. And that hurts because it's such a big part of the land, not even just like the park, like that land, you know?
Yeah, I wonder if they're. Well, I was just gonna say that it almost feels like it's an experience unto itself. Like they do almost in some ways feel like two different. Like the scale of and the scope of this queue is so big that it really does feel like a mini land of its own.
Yeah,
and its appeal is because it is such a crazy immersive large scale thing, and it does feel like it can stand on its own. So but the fact that these two things are just together is just so just jaw-dropping, and it's an experience you can only get at something like Universal. And that's why I'm kind of struggling with whether this or Monsters is number one, because I think the actual physical ride sensation of Ministry is actually more fun than the one on Monsters. However, I personally just love the theme of Monsters Unchained more, and I think that I think the animatronics are a million times better and more impressive, and the way that it integrates screens is also better and more impressive. And
so you have to put that into it, but you also and it has an incredible queue of its own. Yeah, maybe not as like, you know, when you walk in, because that does feel like an experience of its own, as you said, like when you walk into the queue through the flue. But Monsters, I don't know, like I don't think that the sensation of like, oh, you're being like you're like in a jerry box and it's like flying. Like that you're that like the first few seconds I feel that, and I personally, the first time I rode Monsters, I felt maybe a little bit uneasy. It's very similar to Forbidden Journey, but like not. I didn't get as nauseous, but nauseous words. And I just think that I just think the amazingness of those animatronics alone and the scale of the animatronics alone is just so impressive. And you don't yes, you don't have to be a Harry Potter fan to appreciate the ride, but obviously if you're a Harry Potter fan, you're gonna love the ride. And maybe you're not if you're, you know, maybe you're not.
I certainly don't like Harry Potter.
Right, you don't like Harry Potter, but you like the ride. I think you appreciate theme parks more than most people, obviously. Right. Yeah. My husband, who I drag him to theme parks and he enjoys them, but he doesn't. He if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be going there on his own. I don't know how much he would really like that versus something like you go into Monsters, and even if you've never seen one Universal monster movie in your life, the plot is told to you within the Joey has not. It doesn't matter. Like, first of all, like they're in the zeitgeist too, but like it's more of just like you know what's going on within the story, you know what's happening, and these monsters are amazing.
Yeah, I will also. Yeah, I agree, because the story of the Potter thing, I was so amazed with what I was seeing. Like, I haven't seen those movies, so like I don't
and
know
it doesn't really make any sense about what's going on like outside of the ride, because you're in 1920s Paris, and Floo Network, it doesn't time travel. So like, I mean, we all said that, and like when you ask anybody, they're just like, we're just brushing it off because you know what, it's cool, and like I'm fine with that, like because I get it, but like we want to like have like a nice looking Paris outside, and you know, but like it doesn't really, when we are ranking it, we have to put that into consideration. It really doesn't make sense with the rest of what's going on. And all we ever keep finding out about Monsters is more lore.
More stuff.
There's so much lore that goes into the park. Like it is so immersive even outside of the ride itself.
Okay. I think, you know what?
Yes.
Closing arguments have been filed and are now being taken into consideration by the council. Mm-hmm. Demi, let's join brains for a moment and council is conferring. Okay. I believe the official Park Peeps top 10 rides at Epic Universe is complete. I believe we can comfortably say with reason.
With
Everybody,
reason.
this list cannot just be taken as a list. You have to listen to all the reasons. I think Ministry is number 2.
Yeah.
And I think Monsters is number 1.
Yes.
Wow.
I get my way.
Wow.
I win. I should have been a lawyer.
You really? I mean, what a great what a great. Well, I wouldn't even call it an argument. We didn't even. This was not an argument. I felt this was a meeting of the minds.
It was a meeting of the minds.
And
great minds.
I have now corrected on this top 10. It is not Frankenstein experience. It is experiment. Okay, so to recap, the official definitive Park Peeps podcast top 10 rides at Epic Universe. Number 10, or got the chop, was Miss Fire Drill. 10, Dragon Racers Rally. Number 9, Yoshi's Adventure. Number 8, Minecart Madness. 7, Mario Kart. 6, Curse of the Werewolf. 5, I did not endorse Curse of the Werewolf. 5, Constellation Carousel. 4, Hiccup Swing Gliders. 3, Stardust Racers. 2, Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry. Number 1, Monsters Unchained. Boo, boo, boo.
Well, I think this was the right list objectively. What
and
was your,
subjectively.
Okay. Well, I want to know if you were your top 10, Joey, of your subjective, your day at Epic, you get to choose. Go. Oh no,
we got time for a whole other podcast. This is pretty close to it. I think the top 3 you could switch around, like I do, because I am such a coaster person. I might do Stardust too.
Yeah.
The top 3 are the top 3, and they'll switch around constantly. But I feel pretty good about the rest of the top 10, except Curse. I would put a little higher. I would switch Curse and Hiccup.
Yeah, I mean, basically, this was very close to mine. I had Donkey Kong at 9, Yoshi at 8. And instead of, that was changed. And then I had Harry Potter, Stardust, Monsters. And that's just because I think you would too, because we love coasters.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think Monsters, Stardust, and Harry Potter are the definitive top 3, no matter what way you slice it.
Agree.
Objectively, subjectively, those are the rides to prioritize when you head to Epic Universe.
Unless you're Quincy and your number 1 ride is Fire Drill in all of the park. No, Quincy, we remember that you said only of Burke. We remember that. But that was it. That was our podcast for today. We hope you enjoy Epic Universe as it opens to the public. Follow along with me at Joey Nolfi on all socials as I search for my next park's obsession now that this construction chapter of Epic is closed, and keep up with the pod at Park Peeps Pod on all socials as well.
Join us again next Tuesday for another brand new episode. Until then, check back on the Magical Hijinks YouTube channel and social pages everywhere for all of my theme park content, especially all of my Epic Universe content and all of my foodie guides on YouTube. That's Magical Hijinks, HIJINX. And we will see you next time.
Hey, bye.
Bye.